Hi everyone, welcome back to another dungeon. Here's our game as set up from the last video. We've got all of our troops deployed. Hopefully we've not exceeded our budget. We've got 2 people defending the base, 3 defending there. We've got satellites defending in the sky, a bunch of research done, and now we proceed on to the resolution phase. Now this stage isn't timed, which is good, but we'll go through everything, the most important part being the push your luck rolling dice mechanic to determine successes. Anyway, I'll change the camera and point it down and we'll get started. As with the previous round, this round uses the app to control everything that goes on. So start by hitting proceed and you basically just follow the instructions on screen. It's pretty self-explanatory this round. The only thing that's not quite covered properly, in my opinion, is the way the dice mechanic works. But that's alright because we'll cover it in this video for you. So the very first thing is to audit the budget. This is for the commander to do. So they count the number. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Have we underspent? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11. We underspent. Wow. Nice work. Okay, so we've spent that budget. That goes back in the pool here. I leave them in stacks of 5 to make it easier to draw. Now, because we've got leftover budget, we can actually recruit soldiers and interceptors from, now what's this called? It doesn't say what it's called. I think it's called the recruitment pool. So, let's say we're going to spend our last credit to hire a support soldier. Then hit next. Resolve crises, whatever the word is. First crisis, spawn 2 UFOs in orbit. Done. Onto the discard pile. Second one, elite soldiers do not roll 1 additional XCOM die this round. So we'll leave that sitting over there. It's not really important because we don't have any soldiers. Actually, I just realised we probably should have used this asset card during the timed phase. I'll show you what you do. Say you want to make an elite soldier. In this case, the commander has an asset card that can be used in the timed phase, not now. Pretend I used it last video. Place 1 soldier here from its reserve. That soldier becomes elite. So we exhaust the card by turning it sideways. Pop in a little elite token. So the soldier now looks like that. And he sits there until the end of the round. So he can't be used this round anyway. But that's a good one to use each round to make your guys elite. When they're elite, a normal soldier rolls 1. That's a success. He gets to roll 2. Okay, crisis is resolved. We've resolved those things. Okay, resolving research. So this uses the push your luck mechanic, which will be used on everything for the resolution phase and resolving things. Our first one is hollow targeting. Probably should have situated this better so I could walk around easier. As you can see, it requires 1 success in order to win. So all we need is 1 success on the dice. Pretty easy to go. The way you do that, we've got 1 scientist assigned. We roll 2 dice. This is the alien die, this is the XCOM die. We move the alien token on the alien threat track down to 1. Now the reason for that is when you roll, okay, I got no successes, so I can't resolve that, and I rolled a 7. If that equaled 1 or below, 1 or below, then this scientist will become exhausted and I wouldn't be able to resolve. If it was guys fighting, they die, etc, etc. As it so happens, it didn't. It equaled 7, which is well and truly above 1. So now I have the option. I can choose to roll again, or I can just leave it. There's no penalty for leaving research. It just stays until the next round. I'm going to choose to roll again. So what that means is I push my luck, chuck that little marker up to 2. So now if the alien die rolls 2 or below, the scientist will become exhausted. Sure. Perfect example. Thank you, dice. Okay, so first things first, I got a success. That means that that's been resolved. You don't hand that out until the end of the round because sometimes they have resolution. That's a perfect example. Resolution phase item. You don't the squad leader doesn't get that till the end of the round. But I got 2 or below, which means that this scientist is now exhausted and I can't use them. Doesn't have any real penalty other than you can't use that scientist. Now we go on to the second one. Threat track goes back down to 1. No success. Threat track up to 2. And we got a success. So I put a success token on there because this one requires 2. And yeah, I'm going to push my luck again. Go up to 3. Missed. Go up to 4. And no success, and he's exhausted. So that one's going to be around until next turn. Now this third one, I've got 2 scientists on, so I get to roll 2 XCOM die. Whoops, very first thing, move that back down to nothing, down to 1. Now I've got no successes, nice roll, and a 2. What's going on? 8 and 1 success. Sorry, and now move it up to 3. 8 and no successes, move it up to 4. 2 and no successes, they're both exhausted. I probably shouldn't have pushed my luck so much because now I've got 4 out of my 8 scientists are exhausted. But I've got 1 thing fully researched and 2 things nearly done. So now we go next. Central Officer, resolve orbital defense. Now that relates to our satellites and our 3 UFOs in orbit. Now because we've got 2 satellites there, we get to roll 2 XCOM die and of course the alien die. We have to take on the UFOs one at a time. However, in between UFOs, we get to reset the track back to 1, much the same as the research here. However, for each UFO that's left in orbit, you increase panic in various continents. So, let me just quickly check. It is the least panic continent raises by 1. For each UFO that's still in orbit. Hopefully there won't be any left, but we'll see. Okay, so first we're going to take on this guy. We rolled 1 success, which kills him, and the 3 is not there. Next UFO, we bring it back to 1, where it was already, and we killed that guy too. We're doing alright. Back to 1 for the third guy, and we killed him as well. If he wasn't killed, he would remain in orbit and then we'd just pick one of these to increase the panic by 1. But we killed them all, so we're awesome. Next, come on. Okay, resolve global defense. This is the same mechanic except with interceptors. And I'm pretty certain that for global defense, let me just check. Nope, I was wrong. I was going to say that for global defense, you don't reset the alien threat track between each UFO, but you do. Okay, now we've got 3 die, but we've also got 4 UFOs, and don't forget, only 1 failure on the alien die, and we lose all our interceptors. So let's go. First UFO, 2 and 1. Okay, so we only need 1 success to kill a UFO, remember? So reset it back down to 1, and we well and truly destroyed him. Reset it back to 1, nothing. That one goes up to 2, and we try again. 1, we managed to get him. Back to 1, and we managed to get him. And none of our interceptors were destroyed, so that's fantastic. If they had been, and 1 had been left, we increase the panic in South America by 1 for each UFO that's still in orbit. So having 4 in orbit was actually a bad idea because that will put them right up to here if we'd died on that first roll. Which wouldn't be good because it's quite hard to get the panic down on continents. You can do them usually by missions, and I think there's some asset cards that do it as well, but it's not super easy. Okay, next, squad leader, resolve base defense. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is choose who's going to attack. Now, this threat track does not reset between enemies. So you may as well go with both of them at once. So first we're going to do our assault guy, who gets a critical hit on him, and a support guy. So this alien, just to show you, takes 1 success to kill. This guy takes 2 successes to kill. Either one that is left in the base at the end of this turn will increase the damage to the base by 1, and then they, I don't know, they're kamikaze aliens or something, they explode. These guys stay in orbit and above the continents, but those guys die once you reach the end of the turn. So, let's go with our first guy. 1 health point, so we get 2 dice for the 2 guys and the alien die, but then one's got a critical, so we get a third. That's on 1, and we got 2 successes. So he is dead. Now we go to this guy. He needs 2 successes, but we don't get our critical for this one. So goes up 1. Nope. Up 1. This isn't looking good. Ah! Okay. They're both dead, which means we move them back into the recruitment pool. Doesn't mean we get the same guys back, but much like with the XCOM video game, once you kill off guys, you have to buy and recruit new guys. Glad we bought that other guy at the start of the round. Okay, now we've got 1 guy left, so he goes to the bottom of the pile, and we take 1 hit damage. This salvage at the end of the round, I'll do it now so I don't forget, goes to the science officer. He has asset cards. Do I have any now? None now, but later. Oh no, here's one. Discard 1 salvage during the resolution phase to add 1 XCOM die to each roll during a research task. Not much point now, but I can use that next round to sort of give myself a bit of extra help resolving those tasks. So, hit next. Was the XCOM base destroyed? No, it was not. Obviously, if you answer yes or answer destroyed, then it's the end of the game. Okay, squad leader, resolve mission. Now I can choose to either take on this mission or do nothing. There's not really much point in doing nothing though, because I can't pull soldiers back from a mission. I have to leave them there. I might find, once I turn this alien card over, I didn't find, because he can attack. He's able to attack. Say I had someone on this card that couldn't attack that alien. I might find I can't proceed, so I've got to wait and assign more troops to it next round in order to complete. But I'm going to roll for the first task here, which gives me his assault, so he gets 2 dice because the criticals match up, and the alien die. So we reset that back to 1. Nothing. That goes up to 2. And we got a success. So that is done. Now we go to the alien. Note that this does not reset in between tasks on a mission either. It will reset next round though, so if you get to a point where you're like, oh, I don't want to risk it, you can leave it for another round. Now this guy's got 2 health, and I get a normal attack because there's no critical. 3 and... oh, that's a shame. Okay, he died. Because I got 3, which was the threat track or lower, and no successes, so nothing goes on there. But the first task is still done on that particular mission. Then we go next. Okay, now all we do on the app is we draw our... it's pretty much already done. So all our guys are in the yellow, so we tell the app that all the continents are in the yellow. Did you complete a mission this round? No, we did not. Now, all players refresh units and cards. That means these 2 satellites come back. Any soldiers that had survived base defense come back. These interceptors come back. And any guys that were left in here come back as well. We also refresh these cards. That guy goes back over here. He's now an elite. We didn't use any other asset cards. Oh yes, we used this one. Pretend I'd exhausted that like I was meant to. It now becomes unexhausted and that asset comes back. And that's pretty much done. All of the discards go in the bottom of the pile, which we're finished. Now we return our other units to the reserves, so these exhausted guys come back, but they come back exhausted. Next round, on that previous phase, refresh units and cards, these guys all become unexhausted again. But in this round they just come off the board back into the thing. We also completed a research, so this asset card goes to the squad leader for him to use whenever he or she wants. Better put that back as well. We've now got our salvage. I click next. How many UFOs are in orbit? There are no UFOs in orbit. If there were UFOs in orbit, what it does is they scramble the order of events next turn. So the order that we had in the timed phase is pretty stable, but if you've got UFOs in orbit, the more there are, the more scrambled it becomes. So that's a pain because you can be asked to defend your base before anyone's in the base, or deploy interceptors before you know how many are there. It can be really tough. But we've got none, so it doesn't matter. So 0. And that's it for the timed phase. Now you basically go through, do it all again. Hopefully you don't run out of troops. Hopefully you don't die. Good luck. Next video we'll have a playthrough with, hopefully be able to get 4 of us together. If not, we'll get 3. And we'll play through a game fully through so you can sort of see how it works with the timed phase, how we handle the stress of that, and so on. Thanks for watching.